There are people in this world who seem impossible to stop. Life throws obstacles into their path. People doubt them, betray them, underestimate them, and sometimes even celebrate their failures. Yet somehow every setback becomes another step forward. The harder life pushes them down, the stronger they rise. To the outside world, it may look like luck or coincidence, but there is something much deeper taking place. These individuals operate from a mindset that refuses to surrender. They understand truths that most people never discover, and because of that, they become almost impossible to defeat. History is filled with individuals who faced rejection, criticism, and unimaginable hardship before accomplishing extraordinary things. They were not fearless, they were not perfect. What separated them from everyone else was the way they responded to adversity. Instead of allowing pain to define them, they transformed it into power. Instead of waiting for the world to believe in them, they believed in themselves. If you've ever wondered why some people continue rising no matter what life throws at them, these 12 reasons reveal the mindset that makes them unstoppable. You may even recognize some of these qualities within yourself. 1. They turn every attack into fuel. Most people see criticism as a reason to stop. One harsh comment can destroy their confidence. One betrayal can make them lose trust forever. One failure convinces them that they simply aren't meant to succeed. But people who become unstoppable think differently. Every insult becomes motivation. Every rejection becomes proof that they still have something to prove. Every obstacle becomes another opportunity to grow stronger than they were yesterday. Think about what happens when a fire is fed with more wood. It doesn't become weaker, it burns brighter. In the same way, an unstoppable person doesn't allow negativity to extinguish their ambition. They use it as fuel. When someone says they can't do something, they quietly begin working harder. When doors close, they don't waste energy complaining. They look for another entrance or build one themselves. The greatest victories often begin with moments that look like defeat. Many successful people were laughed at before they were respected. They were ignored before they were celebrated. If they had accepted the opinions of others as permanent truth, their stories would have ended before they truly began. Instead, they understood that opposition often appears whenever someone is moving toward something meaningful. This doesn't mean they enjoy criticism or pain. It means they refuse to let either control their future. They ask themselves one simple question: how can this make me stronger? That question changes everything. Instead of becoming victims of circumstance, they become students of adversity. Every difficult experience teaches resilience, wisdom, patience, or determination. Over time, these lessons accumulate until they possess a level of inner strength that cannot be shaken by temporary setbacks. The attacks never stop completely. Critics will always exist. Challenges will continue to appear. But an unstoppable person understands a powerful secret. The more life tests them, the more prepared they become for the opportunities waiting ahead. 2. They cannot be controlled by human approval. One of the greatest prisons in life is the constant need for approval. Many people spend years shaping their decisions around what others might think. They avoid risks because they fear embarrassment. They silence their dreams because someone else might disapprove. Their happiness becomes dependent on applause that may never come. An unstoppable person eventually breaks free from this invisible prison. They understand that no matter what they do, someone will criticize them. If they succeed, people may call them lucky. If they fail, others may call them foolish. Since pleasing everyone is impossible, they stop making it their mission. This freedom creates extraordinary confidence. They no longer waste energy trying to impress people who have already decided not to support them. Instead, they focus on becoming the best version of themselves. Their standards come from their values, not from public opinion. Ironically, this independence often earns them even more respect. People naturally admire individuals who remain authentic despite pressure. They trust those who refuse to abandon their principles simply to fit in. Confidence becomes contagious because it demonstrates emotional stability rather than arrogance. Of course, they still listen to constructive advice. Wisdom is not ignoring every opinion. It is knowing the difference between guidance that helps you grow and criticism designed only to hold you back. They remain teachable without becoming controlled. The moment you stop needing constant validation, your decisions become clearer. Your courage grows stronger. Your purpose becomes louder than the opinions surrounding you. Instead of asking, will people approve, you begin asking, is this the right thing for me to do? That shift changes the direction of an entire life. Approval from others comes and goes. Self-respect, once earned through integrity and perseverance, becomes a foundation that no crowd can take away. 3. Their silence is more dangerous than their words. Many people mistake silence for weakness. They assume that someone who isn't constantly defending themselves has nothing to say. They believe that the loudest person in the room is automatically the strongest. Yet history repeatedly proves the opposite. Some of the most powerful individuals speak the least because they understand that actions create louder echoes than arguments ever could. An unstoppable person rarely feels the need to explain every decision or respond to every accusation. They know that endless debates drain energy without producing meaningful results. While others are busy talking about what they plan to do, they quietly begin doing it. While critics continue making noise, they remain focused on progress. Silence also creates emotional control. When someone attempts to provoke them, they don't immediately react. They pause, they observe. They think before they respond. That simple habit prevents countless mistakes that emotional reactions often create. Their calmness unsettles people who expected anger. Their patience frustrates those who wanted conflict. Behind that silence is preparation. Every quiet season is often filled with learning, planning, improving, and building. By the time others finally notice their success, years of unseen effort have already taken place. The results seem sudden only because few people witness the process. Silence also protects purpose. Not every dream needs an audience before it becomes reality. Sharing every plan invites unnecessary opinions from people who neither understand the vision nor carry its responsibility. Sometimes the strongest move is to keep working until the results speak for themselves. When they finally do speak, their words carry weight because they are backed by consistent action. People listen because they know this person doesn't speak carelessly. Every sentence reflects experience rather than empty confidence. In a world overflowing with noise, disciplined silence becomes a rare form of strength. It isn't weakness, it is controlled power waiting for the right moment to reveal itself. 4. Every betrayal makes them wiser. Betrayal has the power to change a person forever. For many, it creates bitterness, distrust, and emotional walls that never come down again. The pain of being deceived by someone they loved or trusted can leave scars that last for years, yet unstoppable people choose a different response. They allow betrayal to educate them instead of defining them. They don't pretend it didn't hurt, they acknowledge the disappointment and learn from it. Every betrayal reveals something valuable about people, boundaries, expectations, and even themselves. Instead of asking only, why did this happen, they also ask, what can this teach me? Over time, they become better judges of character. They learn to recognize patterns that once escaped their attention. They understand that trust should be earned rather than assumed. Most importantly, they refuse to let one person's actions poison every future relationship. Bitterness keeps people chained to the past. Wisdom sets them free. Unstoppable individuals refuse to spend years seeking revenge because they know revenge consumes energy that could be invested in growth. Their greatest response is becoming stronger, wiser, and more successful than before. Many of life's greatest lessons arrive through painful experiences. Betrayal teaches discernment, disappointment teaches resilience, broken expectations teach adaptability. These lessons are expensive, but they often become the foundation of future success. Eventually, they realize something remarkable. The people who tried to stop them unknowingly contributed to their growth. Without those painful moments, they might never have developed the strength, awareness, and emotional maturity they possess today. They don't celebrate betrayal, but they no longer fear it. They understand that while people may disappoint them, no one has the power to destroy their purpose unless they choose to give that power away. That realization transforms pain into wisdom, and wisdom into an unstoppable force. 5. They see opportunities others never notice. One of the greatest differences between ordinary people and those who become truly unstoppable is the way they see the world. While most people focus on what they have lost, they immediately begin looking for what can still be gained. Where others see a dead end, they see a hidden doorway. Where others see failure, they see feedback. This ability to recognize opportunity in the middle of difficulty is not a gift that only a lucky few possess. It is a mindset that has been developed through experience, discipline, and the refusal to let circumstances dictate their future. Think about how many successful businesses, inventions, and life-changing ideas were born during times of crisis. While millions of people were overwhelmed by uncertainty, someone else noticed a need that had not existed before. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" they asked, "What is this situation making possible?" That single question changed everything. They understood that every major shift creates problems, but it also creates opportunities for those willing to look beyond the obvious. This way of thinking extends beyond careers or finances. It applies to relationships, personal growth, and spiritual development as well. A painful ending may become the beginning of healthier relationships. Losing one opportunity may create space for something far greater. Being forced out of a comfortable routine may reveal talents that would have remained hidden forever. Life often disguises blessings as setbacks, and only those with patient eyes recognize them before everyone else. These individuals train themselves to remain curious instead of discouraged. They know that panic clouds judgment, while calm observation reveals possibilities. Instead of allowing fear to narrow their vision, they intentionally expand it. They ask better questions, seek new perspectives, and remain open to solutions that most people dismiss because they don't look familiar. This is why they often appear lucky. From the outside, people assume success simply found them. What they don't see are the countless moments when everyone else overlooked the same opportunity because they were too busy focusing on the obstacle. Luck is often nothing more than prepared eyes recognizing what distracted minds cannot. By refusing to become trapped by appearances, unstoppable people consistently discover paths that others never imagined. Their greatest advantage is not extraordinary intelligence or endless resources. It is the ability to see possibility where everyone else sees impossibility. 6. They don't fight every battle. One of the clearest signs of maturity is knowing that not every challenge deserves your energy. Many people exhaust themselves trying to prove every critic wrong, respond to every insult, or win every argument. They believe that silence means surrender and that every disagreement demands a response. In reality, this constant need to fight drains emotional, mental, and physical strength that could have been invested in something far more valuable. People who are truly unstoppable understand the difference between an important battle and an unnecessary distraction. They recognize that time is one of life's most valuable resources, and once it is wasted, it can never be recovered. Instead of reacting emotionally to every situation, they ask themselves whether engaging will actually move them closer to their purpose. If the answer is no, they walk away without guilt. This doesn't mean they are weak or afraid of confrontation. Quite the opposite. They possess enough confidence to know that they do not need to defend themselves against every opinion. Some people argue only to create chaos. Others criticize because they are uncomfortable watching someone else grow. Unstoppable individuals refuse to become trapped in battles that were designed to distract them from their mission. History repeatedly demonstrates that the strongest leaders were not those who fought the most battles, but those who chose the right ones. They conserved their strength, remained patient, and acted only when the moment truly mattered. They understood that discipline is often more powerful than aggression. Walking away from pointless conflict requires tremendous emotional control. Pride urges people to have the last word, but wisdom understands that winning an argument can still mean losing valuable time, peace, and focus. Sometimes the greatest victory is protecting your energy rather than proving your point. This mindset allows unstoppable people to remain focused, while others become consumed by unnecessary drama. Every distraction they avoid gives them more time to improve themselves, build meaningful relationships, and pursue their goals. Their progress becomes their loudest response, making many arguments unnecessary in the first place. In the end, they understand a simple truth: you don't become powerful by fighting everything. You become powerful by refusing to let everything fight you. 7. Their purpose gives them unshakable endurance. Motivation is powerful, but it is also temporary. Some mornings you wake up feeling inspired, while other days every step feels difficult. If your entire life depends on motivation alone, you will eventually stop whenever those emotions disappear. Unstoppable people understand this better than anyone. They rely on something much stronger than motivation. They are driven by purpose. Purpose gives meaning to sacrifice. It reminds them why the long nights, difficult decisions, and painful setbacks are worth enduring. While others quit because the journey becomes uncomfortable, they continue because they know what they are building is greater than the discomfort they are experiencing. Imagine two people carrying the same heavy weight. One sees it as a meaningless burden, while the other believes that carrying it will save someone they deeply love. The physical weight may be identical, but their willingness to endure is completely different. Purpose changes how people experience hardship. What feels unbearable without purpose often becomes manageable when connected to a meaningful mission. Throughout history, the individuals who transformed nations, advanced science, inspired movements, or changed lives rarely had easy journeys. They encountered rejection, loneliness, financial struggles, and repeated failures. Yet they continued because their vision reached beyond temporary pain. They understood that comfort rarely produces greatness. Purpose also creates consistency. Even when progress seems invisible, they continue taking small steps forward because they trust the process. They don't require constant rewards to remain committed. Their satisfaction comes from knowing they are living in alignment with what truly matters. This endurance becomes nearly impossible to break because it is rooted internally rather than externally. Circumstances change, praise disappears, challenges increase, but purpose remains. It becomes an anchor during uncertainty and a compass during confusion. Eventually, people begin asking how they remain so resilient despite everything they have endured. The answer is rarely extraordinary talent. More often, it is the quiet strength that comes from knowing exactly why they refuse to give up. When purpose becomes stronger than comfort, endurance becomes one of the most powerful qualities a person can possess. 8. What was meant to break them builds them. Life has a way of testing every person. There are seasons when everything seems to fall apart at once. Dreams collapse, trusted relationships end, unexpected losses appear, and carefully made plans suddenly stop working. During these moments, many people conclude that life is working against them. They assume the hardship is proof that they should quit. But unstoppable people see these experiences through an entirely different lens. Instead of asking why life has become difficult, they begin asking what this difficulty is preparing them for. They recognize that some of the strongest qualities a person can develop, patience, courage, resilience, humility, compassion, and wisdom, cannot be learned through comfort alone. They are forged through challenge. Consider how steel becomes stronger only after passing through intense heat. Diamonds are formed under extraordinary pressure. Muscles grow only after resistance stretches them beyond their previous limits. Nature itself demonstrates that growth often requires discomfort. Human character follows the same principle. This realization changes everything. Instead of viewing hardship as evidence of failure, they begin seeing it as part of the process. Every setback forces them to adapt. Every disappointment teaches emotional strength. Every obstacle develops skills they never knew they needed. What initially looked like destruction gradually reveals itself as preparation. The remarkable thing is that many people later look back on the hardest chapters of their lives and realize those seasons shaped them more than the easy ones ever could. Without those struggles, they might never have discovered their true strength, clarified their priorities, or developed the resilience that now defines them. This does not mean they enjoy suffering or pretend painful experiences are pleasant. It means they refuse to let pain have the final word. They choose to grow instead of becoming bitter. They transform wounds into wisdom and setbacks into stepping stones. Eventually, they reach a point where they no longer fear adversity the way they once did. They understand that while difficult seasons may shake them, they do not have the power to destroy them. In fact, each challenge leaves them stronger, wiser, and better prepared for the next level of their journey. What was designed to stop them ultimately becomes the very force that propels them forward. 9. They inspire others without trying. There is a kind of influence that cannot be manufactured. It doesn't come from having the loudest voice, the largest audience, or the most impressive title. It comes from the quiet power of living with integrity, resilience, and purpose. Truly unstoppable people rarely wake up thinking, "How can I inspire others today?" Instead, they focus on becoming the best version of themselves. Ironically, that commitment to personal growth is exactly what makes them so inspiring. People naturally pay attention to those who remain calm during chaos. When everyone else is overwhelmed by fear, they remain steady. When others are looking for someone to blame, they are already looking for solutions. Their confidence isn't based on pretending life is easy. It comes from having survived difficult seasons before and knowing that this challenge, like the others, will eventually pass. Their actions speak louder than any motivational speech. Friends notice that they continue working even when no one is watching. Family members see them refusing to give up after repeated disappointments. Colleagues observe their discipline, honesty, and consistency. Over time, these small daily decisions create a reputation that commands respect without demanding attention. What makes their influence even more powerful is that it feels authentic. They don't chase admiration or try to impress people with exaggerated stories. They openly acknowledge their struggles, mistakes, and weaknesses while refusing to let those things define them. That honesty gives others permission to believe they can overcome their own challenges as well. Many lives are changed not by grand gestures but by ordinary people who quietly demonstrate extraordinary perseverance. A single example of courage can encourage someone else to take their first step. One person's refusal to quit can convince another person that their dream is still worth pursuing. This ripple effect continues far beyond what anyone can measure. That is the hidden strength of an unstoppable person. They don't need to announce their influence because it reveals itself naturally. Their resilience becomes hope for someone who feels discouraged. Their discipline becomes an example for someone who lacks direction. Their character becomes proof that difficult circumstances do not have to determine the outcome of a person's life. In the end, people may forget inspiring speeches, but they rarely forget someone whose life consistently reflected courage, humility, and unwavering determination. 10. They learn from every defeat. Failure has ended more dreams than lack of talent ever has. Not because failure is fatal, but because too many people misunderstand what it means. They assume a failed attempt is evidence that they are incapable, unworthy, or destined to remain ordinary. As a result, they stop trying long before reaching their true potential. Unstoppable people see failure through a completely different lens. They understand that every setback contains information, every mistake reveals something that didn't work. Every disappointment uncovers a weakness that can now be improved. Instead of allowing defeat to become their identity, they treat it as part of their education. Think about the greatest inventors, athletes, entrepreneurs, and leaders throughout history. Very few succeeded on their first attempt. Most experienced repeated rejection, financial hardship, criticism, and countless failures before achieving the results the world remembers. If they had interpreted failure as the end of the journey, their greatest accomplishments would never have existed. This mindset requires humility. It means accepting responsibility instead of making excuses. Rather than blaming circumstances, they honestly evaluate what happened. They ask difficult questions. What could I have done differently? What lesson did I overlook? What skill do I need to improve? Those questions transform painful experiences into valuable knowledge. Every defeat also strengthens emotional resilience. The first setback often feels devastating, but each challenge that follows becomes easier to handle because they have already proven to themselves that they can recover. Confidence is no longer built on never falling. It is built on knowing they can always get back up. Eventually, failure loses its ability to intimidate them. They stop fearing mistakes because they understand that progress and failure often travel together. The person who never fails is usually the person who never attempts anything difficult. This perspective creates tremendous freedom. Instead of waiting for perfect conditions, they take action. They experiment, adapt, and continue learning. Every setback becomes another stepping stone toward mastery. The world celebrates success, but unstoppable people understand a deeper truth. Success is often nothing more than accumulated lessons from failures that someone refused to waste. 11. They keep moving when others quit. Every meaningful journey reaches a point where excitement fades and difficulty takes its place. The beginning is filled with enthusiasm, fresh ideas, and endless possibilities. But eventually, obstacles appear. Progress slows, doubt grows louder. Results take longer than expected. This is the moment when most people quietly give up. The unstoppable person makes a different choice. They understand that persistence is often the greatest separator between those who achieve extraordinary things and those who abandon their dreams. They don't continue because every day feels exciting. They continue because they have made a commitment that is stronger than their emotions. There will always be reasons to quit. The timing may not feel right, resources may be limited, critics may question every decision, friends may lose faith. Even their own mind may whisper that the journey is no longer worth it. Yet they have learned that feelings are temporary, while the consequences of giving up can last a lifetime. They focus on the next step rather than the entire mountain. Instead of becoming overwhelmed by how far they still have to go, they concentrate on making progress today. One more page written, one more workout completed, one more lesson learned, one more attempt made. These seemingly small actions compound over weeks, months, and years until remarkable achievements emerge. What many people call overnight success is often the result of thousands of ordinary days when someone refused to stop. The world usually notices the victory, but rarely sees the discipline that made it possible. Persistence also creates confidence. Every challenge they overcome becomes evidence that they are capable of handling future difficulties. Their faith in themselves grows stronger because it is supported by experience rather than wishful thinking. Eventually, the obstacles that once seemed impossible become stories they tell about how far they have come. Looking back, they realize that their greatest advantage was never exceptional talent or perfect circumstances. It was simply the decision to keep moving after everyone else had stopped. Many people are defeated not because they lacked ability, but because they quit one step before the breakthrough. Unstoppable people understand this, which is why they refuse to let temporary struggles determine their permanent destiny. 12. They leave a legacy that outlives opposition. In the beginning, many remarkable people are misunderstood. They are criticized for thinking differently, doubted for pursuing unusual goals, and sometimes even ridiculed for refusing to follow the crowd. Opposition often seems much louder than support, but time has a remarkable way of revealing what truly matters. The people who become unforgettable are rarely remembered because they avoided criticism. They are remembered because they stayed faithful to their purpose despite it. Their legacy is not built by pleasing everyone. It is built by consistently doing what they believed was right, even when recognition was nowhere to be found. An unstoppable person eventually realizes that success is about far more than personal achievement. They begin asking deeper questions. What difference will my life make? Whose life will be better because I was here? What values will I leave behind? These questions shift their focus from temporary applause to lasting impact. Money can disappear, fame can fade, popularity changes with every generation, but character, wisdom, kindness, and meaningful contributions continue influencing people long after a person is gone. A teacher's encouragement may inspire generations. A parent's sacrifice may shape an entire family. One courageous decision may alter countless lives in ways that can never be measured. Opposition always has an expiration date. Every insult eventually fades into silence. Every critic eventually moves on, but the impact created through courage and perseverance continues long after those voices disappear. This understanding frees unstoppable people from the need to prove themselves to everyone. They become more concerned with living faithfully than appearing successful. They know that true greatness is measured not only by what they accomplish, but by what they leave behind for others to build upon. Years from now, very few people will remember the obstacles they faced. Instead, they will remember how those obstacles were overcome. They will remember the example that was set, the hope that was given, and the lives that were changed. That is the true victory. Not simply surviving opposition, but creating a legacy that outlives it. If there is one lesson that connects all 12 of these reasons, it is this: Truly unstoppable people are not born different, they choose to think differently. They refuse to allow criticism to define them. They transform pain into wisdom, failure into education, and setbacks into stepping stones. While others wait for perfect conditions, they take action with what they have. While others seek approval, they remain faithful to their purpose. And while others quit at the first sign of difficulty, they continue moving forward one step at a time. The truth is, life will test everyone. No one escapes disappointment, rejection, betrayal, or failure. The real question is not whether those moments will come. The question is how you will respond when they do. Will you allow them to convince you that your journey is over, or will you use them to become stronger than you were before? Remember, every person you admire has faced moments when giving up seemed easier than continuing. The difference is that they kept going. They understood that success is rarely about being the smartest, the strongest, or the luckiest person in the room. More often, it belongs to the one who refuses to surrender when progress becomes slow and the path becomes difficult. Perhaps you're watching this during one of the hardest seasons of your life. Maybe you've been underestimated, criticized, or discouraged. Maybe you've experienced failure after failure and are wondering whether your dream is still worth pursuing. If that's where you are today, let this be your reminder. Your current situation does not determine your final destination. Every challenge you overcome is preparing you for a future version of yourself that is stronger, wiser, and more resilient than you can imagine. One day, you'll look back and realize that the very obstacles you wished would disappear were the ones that shaped your character and revealed your true strength. The storms didn't come to destroy you, they came to show you what you were capable of becoming. If this message encouraged you, don't let it end here. Take at least one lesson from this video and apply it today. Small actions repeated consistently create extraordinary results over time. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss future videos designed to help you build resilience, purpose, and an unstoppable mindset. Share this video with someone who needs encouragement today, because one message at the right moment can change the direction of a person's life. Until next time, keep growing, keep believing, and above all, never let temporary obstacles convince you to abandon the extraordinary future you're capable of creating.